Hey guys, I'm Lee from Supercar Advocates. Welcome to another episode of Cars. What we have here today is a Porsche 997 GT3 Mark 1. Now, this car has clearance issues. Doesn't even have 100mm ground clearance, so you scrape on driveways and everywhere. So you've got to be ultra careful, as you can see there, and you can hear it scrape. Ugh. Luckily that lower spoiler is replaceable. Now this car has a 415 horsepower flat 6-cylinder motor, which is a Metzger motor, and what it does is 0 to 100 in 4.3 seconds. This engine is so tuned, its sound is glorious. It's got, I think, in my personal opinion, it's probably one of the best sounding GT3s yet. That you want it to go. You point it into a direction, you press the accelerator, the car takes you there. Because everyone says, oh, we missed the air-cooled sound. Well guys, air-cooled sound, this sounds glorious. Once you drive this car and you listen to this exhaust note, which this car only has a standard exhaust on it, it sounds amazing. So what we get here is a classic Porsche cluster. We've got the steering wheel here, well, and we've got a bare unit, so this is all bare, so there's no big screen like you find in the other Porsches. Air conditioning controls there. This is here for the PASM, so you press this button and the suspension becomes tighter. That's sport mode, so the exhaust valves open up and the torque curve changes, so there's a power delivery, and that's traction control, because that's all you get in this car, just traction control. If this light is off, that means that the traction control is on. If it's green, that means you have traction control off. Got the gear shifter here in Alcantara, as well as the steering wheel, which is also in Alcantara. Alcantara handbrake lever, painted center console, which is an option. And we've got the seats, which are leather on the outside here, and Alcantara in the middle, right throughout. And there's the back here, and you can see the GT3 sign. It's all just bare. You know, driving a GT3 on the road has such a presence. It's so wide. It's got a real big body kit on it. It's got those nice spoilers everywhere on the front and the back. It looks different. It stands out from the rest of the Porsches out there. They've used heaps of Alcantara in this car. The steering wheel is Alcantara, the gear shifter is Alcantara, the throttle response is a lot more responsive compared to a normal Carrera. And when you drive on the roads, yes, it is a lot bumpier than driving a normal Carrera, because they do have a softer suspension. This car, however, does have PASM, which is the Porsche control, where you can control the shocks, so you can make them harder or you can make them soft. So right now I do obviously have it on the street setting, which is soft, and I can still feel the bumps in the road. If I strengthen it up and I make it real hard, you know, the car becomes ultra bumpy. Anyway, a demonstration. This is what it sounds like from the inside the cabin. Car's a beast. Would you want to drive a turbo after driving this? I'd say no, not really. Okay, the turbo gives you that extra torque, the thump in the back that this car won't give you as much, but this car's really, really quick, and it has the looks to match. 996. The gear shifter sports a short shift, which is a little clunky on the streets, but on the track it's a lot easier to use and a lot smoother. It does have a higher rev limit. It's got 8,500 RPMs. That's the maximum that you can take this car to. We've actually improved on the fuel consumption, but it's nowhere as good as a 991 GT3. It still uses a fair bit. Right now I'm averaging 16.7 litres to 100 kilometres. That's a fair bit. In today's standards, of course. Precise, so responsive. You can actually feel the road, especially with the fat rear end tyres. We've got 305s on the 997 Mark 1 on this car, where the 996 had 295, so they've gone up 10 mils, which is pretty good. Gives you more traction. And for the first time they've introduced traction control in this model, where the 996, the predecessor, didn't have any stability control, no traction control, nothing other than ABS brakes. This car does have ABS brakes and it does have traction control, which you can turn it off. I don't think we've reviewed so many Porsches before, you know. It's like lately we've been reviewing heaps of Porsches and heaps of classic Porsche cars and classic Ferraris, and it's just a joy, you know. We're reviving all the classic cars, bringing them out to you guys, to the world, so you can enjoy watching them and you can see what the glorious past was like, you know. They, as you could call it, they're blasts from a past, and that's what we're giving you guys. I'm Lee from Supercar Advocates. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this episode. Don't forget to subscribe, place your comments down below, like the video, and we'll see you guys soon. Cheers. Wow.